Srimad Bhagavatam 1.7.22 Arjuna Vacha Krishna Krishna Mahabaho Bhaktanam Abhayankara Tameko Dahyamananam Apargosi Samsnate. So here Krishna is being beseeched by Arjuna for guidance. When Arjuna sees this blinding blaze charging towards him, although Arjuna has himself used the Brahmastra before and has the Brahmastra directed towards him, the weapon that is now coming is the Brahmashira, which is actually even more powerful than the Brahmastra. And it's coming without any warning. So Arjuna is going to ask for the identity of this. So Brahmashira is the most powerful manifestation of the Brahmastra, of the weapon of Brahma. So here he says, Krishna Krishna Mahabaho. Oh Krishna, you are all powerful. Mahabaho, oh supremely powerful one. Bhaktanam Abhayankara. You make the devotees fearless. Bhajahure mana Shinandanandana Abhaya Charana Ravindare. You make the devotees fearless. Bhaktanam Abhayankara. Tvam eko dahyamananam. You can make the blazing fire of material existence, the himananam, apavargo si samsmritehe. You can make people free from the misery of material existence. Apavarga. So we have pavarga, pabhava. These represent the various stages of material existence. Parishram, fade, bhaya, bandhan, babha, bandhan, bhaya and mrityu. So apavarga means that state which is beyond this stage. Apavargo si samsmritehe. For those who are burning in the fire of material existence, you alone, O Lord, are the liberator. So this Dahyamananam, there is both a literal and a figurative meaning over here. The literal meaning, of course, is that the fire is coming and the fire can destroy at any moment and can destroy completely. Whereas the other meaning is that Dahyamananam is there are miseries in material existence. Material existence sometimes compared to an ocean and sometimes it is compared to a forest fire. So here the metaphor of the forest fire, samsara davanala. So that is we sing it regularly in the while glorifying the Guru. So davanala dahyamananam. So there is a forest fire of material existence and all living beings are burning within the forest fire. So you, O Lord, can grant fearlessness. You can lift one out of the fire of material existence. So he prays to him that way. Next text, 23. Tamadhyah purushah sakshat ishwarah prakrite parah mayam yudhasya chichaktya kaivalle sita atmani. Now somebody may get the question, how exactly will Krishna be able to liberate anyone from material existence? What can Krishna do? How can Krishna do it? So the fire is coming, it is coming towards Arjuna, it is coming towards Krishna also. So Krishna is a person sitting next to Arjuna, and how will he be able to liberate? So Arjuna reveals the position of Krishna and he states that Tamadhyah Purushah Sakshad, that you are the original supreme person. There is no one as powerful as you. Tamadhyah Purushah Sakshad. You are the original person who is Ishwarah Prakrite Paraha. You are the controller and you are beyond Prakriti. So even when Krishna is situated in the world, in the universe. Even when Krishna is situated in the material world and the universe is situated in him. As we see sometimes when he reveals the Vishwarupa, or when he shows Mother Yashoda, the Vishwa in his Mukha, in the Vishwadarshan pastimes. So Arjuna is aware of Krishna's position. He's not misled by thinking that, oh, Krishna is also another person who is just situated on the war field, on the chariot next to me. He says, Ishvara prakrite para, maya vidasya chit shaktya, and mayam vidasya, that you have given up Maya. Although all the living beings here are under the covering of Maya, Krishna is not under that covering. Ajopi sanavyayatma, bhutanam ishwaropi san. He is situated in the transcendental position Chit Shaktya. Chit Shaktya means that he is actually the supreme being. He is situated in spiritual energy, which is Chit Shakti. The Antaranga Shakti, sometimes called of the Supreme Lord, sometimes called as the Chit Shakti. So Maya Vyudasya Chit Shaktya Kaivalya Sthita Atmani. And he is situated in his own in his own spiritual self, and is situated in Kaivalya. Kaivalya is a state of liberation. It's a state of transcendence. It is a spiritual level of existence. So here Arjuna is reinforcing the prayer of his previous verse, that Krishna can free him from the blazing fire of material existence, because Krishna is situated in transcendence. So each of the lines in this verse is actually conveying Krishna's transcendental position. He is Tamadhya Purusha Sakshad. He is Adi Purusha, as we sing in the Brahma Samhita, Govindam Adi Purusham Tamham Bhajami. Ishvaraha Prakritehe Para. That he is beyond material nature. He has given up the illusion of Maya. Mayam Vyudasya Chit Shaktya Kaivalye Sthita Atmani. It's a speciality of Krishna. While all living beings are situated in material nature, Krishna is situated far beyond material nature. 24. Sa eva jiva lokasya maya mohita chetasah vidhatse svena viryena shreyo dharmadi lakshanam. Sa eva jiva lokasya maya mohita chetasah. So, in this material world, jiva lokasya, for the living entities who are in this world, maya mohita chetasah. For them, their consciousness is deluded by Maya, and for them, what do? Vidhatse svena viryena. You, by your own potency, you execute shreyo dharmadi lakshanam. You execute the principles of dharma for the of dharma means here refers to the dharma artha kama moksha, for bestowing shreya upon them. So, based on the previous verse which states Krishna's transcendental position, Krishna's position beyond material nature, the question may come up that why is Krishna situated in this world? What is he doing here? If he is beyond material nature, he is Ishvara Prakrite Para, then he is Adi Purusha. Then what is he doing in material nature? He is setting an example for all of us. So, Avatarati iti avataras. Avatar is the manifestation of the Lord who descends to the transcendental level to the material level of reality. Sa eva jiva lokasya. So in this conditioned material, in this world which is filled with conditioned living entities, where everyone is deluded, how will they know how to become free from delusion? Suppose if people are in a prison and they don't know they completely forgotten anything about life outside the prison, then they will never be able to come out. For them to be able to come out, at least they should have some recollection of the life out of the prison, and there should be someone who tells them that, oh, life outside the prison is so good, and if you act this way, this way, this way, you'll be released from this prison. So normally, people themselves will not want to go out of the prison, but when they are offered the opportunity, then they will surely, they are told about it, they are given the opportunity, and they are given the process. Then if they are attracted, they will go out. So Krishna comes and gives us a message of the transcendental world and tells us how to live in such a way that we can pursue transcendence. And when that is done, then naturally people pursue transcendence and they attain transcendence. And thus Krishna does the Shreya, the long-term good for all living beings. Tathayam chavataraste, 25th text. Tathayam chavataraste bhuyo bharajihirshaya swanam chananya bhavanam anudhyanaya chasakrit. So tathayam. So then that link which was pointed to in the previous verse is now being explicit. That because you descend for do Shreya Dharma Adi Lakshana, to do the long-term good for all living beings. So Tatha Ayam Cha Avataraste. Thus you have manifested in this avatar Bhuvo Bharajihirshaya. Bhuvo is the earth, Bharajihirshaya, to remove the burden of material existence. Swanam Chananya Bhavanam. And especially, so there is one Bharajihirshaya means he removes the burden of the world by teaching people about, by destroying the demoniac. Vinashaya dushkritam. But that is only one way to remove the burden of material existence. The Lord comes primarily for those who are devotionally Paritranaya sadhunam. So swanam chananya bhavanam. So swanam, those are his own people, those are his own devotees, those are his friends. They are ananya bhavanam. They are devoted to him with unalloyed attention. Anudhyanaya chaksakrit. So anudhyanaya. So they are meditating on him continuously. Asakrit. So for them Krishna descends, and how does he descend? He delivers them from material existence by the consistent process of by giving them the substance for meditating on him and thereby becoming attracted to him. So this is the beauty of the process of bhakti, and that is what Krishna is offering to all of us when he descends to this material world. Now Arjuna will come down to the specific question in the 26th text. Kim idam switkuto veti devadeva na vedmyaham sarvato mukham ayati tejah paramadarunam. So kim idam switkuto veti. What is this and where is it coming from? Deva Deva Navedmyaham. Oh God of God, I do not know about this. Sarvato Mukham Ayati. The Sarvato Mukham is, it's consuming all directions. This is the effulgence that is spreading all directions and causing a blinding effect in all directions. Tejam Paramadarunam. It's not just blinding in terms of the light, it's blinding in terms of the heat also. Paramadarunam is extremely dangerous. So what is this effulgence which is spreading all over, O Lord? I don't know what it is. Please tell me, and please tell me where is it coming from. So even while asking an eminently practical question, Arjuna precedes it with prayers to Krishna. And this is the mood of prayer. Now we may wonder how does he have the time. But the point here is, for a devotee, there is something called a devotional reflex action, and those devotional reflex actions happen even without thinking. So the Bhagavatam depicts Arjuna not just in a fraternal mood towards with Krishna, but a devotional fraternal mood. And even before he remembers Krishna's supreme position. If he had not remembered Krishna's supreme position, if he had been thinking Krishna to be just an ordinary person, then he may not even have asked our Krishna, what is this effulgence coming? Because he would think, I am a Kshatriya, Krishna is a Kshatriya, and it's unlikely that he will know. So he's not seeing Krishna as another Kshatriya, he's seeing Krishna as the Supreme Lord, and being the Supreme Lord, he asks him appropriately by first glorifying the supremacy of the Supreme Lord and then seeking questions. Shri Bhagavan Uvacha, text 27. Now Krishna will reply here onwards. Vithedam drona putrasya brahman astra pradarshitam naivasau veda samharam pranabadha upasthite. So Vithedam, you should know it to be from me. What is this? Drona putrasya, from by the son of Drona, Ashwathama. Brahmam astra pradarshitam. So Brahmam astra. This is the weapon of Brahma, the Brahmashira, Brahmastra, Brahmashira Pradarshitam. He has exhibited this, he has discharged it. Naivasa Veda Samharam. Although he doesn't know how to retract it, he has discharged it. Pranabadha Upasthita. Because he feels his life is threatened. So now, for example, Prabhupada in his word-to-word translation compares this with the Brahmastram. He uses nuclear weapon. So Prabhupada wrote his purpose at a time when the fear of a nuclear holocaust was very much there in people's minds. The atom bombs that had been dropped in Hiroshima and Nagasaki had created such unimaginable, unbearable, horrible devastation of a magnitude and longevity that would have been unimaginable earlier, and that had triggered terror in the public imagination, all the more so because there had been the Third World War. Fear due to the Cold War tensions between the two superpowers, USSR and USA. And in that atmosphere, even the threat of annihilation of the whole world because of a nuclear confrontation was a very real threat, and nobody really knew when the world might be destroyed. So in such a situation, what Krishna does is, Krishna focuses on, or rather Prabhupada makes his message relevant by comparing the Brahmastra to a nuclear weapon. And now also, although in the public there is not so much fear of nuclear weapons causing a mass destruction of the world, today the greater fear is probably of terrorist attacks destroying innocent people. But there is always the great concern that if there are some hotheads who get hands on nuclear arsenal anywhere, they may cause unimaginable, unprecedented havoc in the world. So that is what is the fear over here for in the case of Ashwathama, because Ashwathama is a hot-headed person like that. He has discharged the weapon, although he doesn't know how to withdraw it. So normally when we unleash destruction, if we don't know how to control it, then the destruction can go off far more than what we might want. So for example, if we decide, just like even in using ordinary bombs, there is what is the military euphemism called, the governmental euphemism called as collateral damage. That means that you want to bomb one place but the bombs fall somewhere else, or some other civilians get killed while as unintended consequence. So especially when the unintended consequence is likely to be very large, then discharging a weapon is considered irresponsible, even brutal. So Ashwatthama has done like that, and Krishna is underscoring that irresponsible behavior of Ashwatthama by stating that he doesn't know naivasa veda samharam. He doesn't know how to retract it, but still in despair, wanting to save his life, he has done this prana badha upasthite. Then Krishna further that that point, the danger of the weapon here is being conveyed in the next verse 28 text. Nayasyannayatamam astram pratyavakarsanam yahya astratej unnadham astragyo yastratejasaha naya asya anyatamam kinchid. So this weapon cannot be countered by anyatamam, by any other weapon. Astram pratyavakarshanam. Pratyavakarshanam means as a counter. So there is no other weapon to counter this weapon. But jahya astra teja unnadham. So the astra teja, the effulgence, the glare of this weapon, unnadham, it is formidable, it is fearsome. Astrogya astra tejasaha. So there is no other weapon to counter it. So implied in that is that what is the way to counter it? This weapon is only the way to counter it. So he has discharged a Brahmastra and you should also discharge a Brahmastra. Now that is the saving grace right now for that Brahmastra, which is not there in the case of nuclear weapons. If say one country sends a nuclear weapon against another country, the other country can very well send a nuclear weapon back to destroy the first country. But the two nuclear weapons cannot counter each other. And that's why the nuclear weapons are extremely dangerous. And we do not have that level of control right now to counter a nuclear weapon. A nuclear intervention can somehow be interrupted along the way before it reaches the destination, that is different. But if that doesn't happen, then there are sometimes other kinds of weapons which can counter one weapon. So for example, if a missiles are being sent, then there can be anti-missile charges that can be sent to intercept the missile. But apart from that, not much can be done. But this is a sophisticated weapon, which as one weapon is formidable, but it cannot be countered by any other means except one. And that is using the same weapon. And this, Krishna is telling Arjuna, this requires expertise, but you have that expertise because you are astragyo. Astragyo. Gyo is to have knowledge. Astra is weapons. You do have knowledge of weapons, O Arjuna. Therefore, use your knowledge of weapons and astra tejasa. Counter the effulgence of this particular weapon. Text 30, Sutta Uvacha. Shrutva Bhagavata Proktam Falguna Paraviraha Sprishtva Pastam Parikramya Brahmam Brahmastram Sandadhe. So Shrutva Bhagavata Proktam. So the vision is going backwards in terms of the narrative. Krishna and Arjuna were discussing. So as long as the words are being discussed, Krishna said this, Arjuna said this is being said. But now their actions have to be described. So the narrative focus moves back a little bit, and it is Sutta who is narrating the events. Shrutva Bhagavata Proktam. On hearing the words spoken by Bhagavan Krishna, Falguna Paraviraha. So Falguna is the name of Arjuna. He was Paraviraha. He was capable of defeating, of overpowering, of destroying Paravira, the opposing hero. Sprishtvapas parikramya. Sprishtvapas, he immediately touched water. Water has to be touched for invoking mantras. And tam parikramya, he quickly did a parikrama of Krishna. And Brahmastram sandadhe. And with the blessings of the Supreme Brahma, Brahmastra he released. So here there is a very poignant play of words, Brahmastra and Brahmam. So interestingly, that the word, the Brahmastra is not the weapon of Brahmaji. Although sometimes it is used in that sense. Normally we have say Indra, we might say Indrastra or Vayuastra. But actually if we see, usually we do not use the name like that. Indra Shakti Astra or Shiva Jwara, we may use like that. Brahmaji is more in the mood of a Brahmana than a Kshatriya. He is a Brahminical advisor and he rarely gets involved in fights. And the word Brahma can be related with the person Brahma. The word can also be related with the Varna Brahmanas, and it can also be related with the Param Brahma or with the Brahman, the spiritual reality, Athato Brahma Jigyasa. So usually when the word Brahmastra is used, it is used in the sense of not referring to Brahmaji, or it is not the weapon of Brahman, but Brahman is it is not the weapon of Brahma, but rather the Brahman is the supreme reality, just as the Brahman is the supreme reality in all of existence. So similarly, Brahmastra is considered the greatest weapon in all of existence. And in this particular case, the person who is the supreme being, Krishna, is the Param Brahma. He is the Brahma personified. So Brahmastram Sandadhe. Brahmastram Samdadhe. So what it means here is that although the Brahmastra was coming towards Krishna and Arjuna both, but another Brahmastra was going to be discharged by Arjuna to counter it. And this, so there was one Brahmastra which was coming, which had been discharged against the will of the Supreme Brahman. But this Brahmastra was being discharged according to the will of the Supreme Brahman. And there's a prophetic implication over here through the alliteration that this Brahmastra would counter the other Brahmastra. So everything comes from the divine, but everything doesn't take us to the divine. Everything that is there in this world, that comes from Krishna. But does it take us towards Krishna? That we have to see time, place, circumstance. Sometimes we may end up using the gifts of Krishna and go away from Krishna. Just as if a person eats a lot of prasad, then that prasad is Krishna's mercy, but overeating prasad can cause degradation in our consciousness and agitation of the senses, which can cause fall down. Similarly, even the beautiful things of this world come from Krishna, but they are meant to be used in Krishna's service. They are meant to remind us of Krishna. But instead, if we try to, we get captivated by them themselves and we use them against Krishna's will, that they may take us away from Krishna and they may take others away from Krishna. People have intelligence and they are meant to use their intelligence to move closer to Krishna. But many times non-devotees, for example, atheists especially, atheists who propagate against God, or materialists who who use their intelligence, say, in godless, sensual advertisements, they are using their intelligence to go away from God and to take others away from God. So Brahmastram Sandadhe. So here the point that is being made is that the divine weapon is being used according to the divine will by Arjuna, and that is the purpose of perfection of the resources of this world. So we all are meant to become like Arjuna, not like Ashwatthama, where we use the resources and the intelligence coming from the divine in defiance of the divine. Rather than doing that and bringing heavy karmic penalties on oneself, We need to use the intelligence coming from the divine for the purpose of the divine, and that will elevate us and ultimately liberate us from